so that's good. Time for intros. So we are currently on our way to VZ Racing Engines in our RT Dodge Charger. Nice fun whip drive around town here, courtesy of Greenbrier Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Thanks you guys. We did a display there on Friday, and we did a show here at the West Virginia State Fairgrounds yesterday. All in all, not a bad show, but definitely had some transmission problems. We've been having some issues this year with transmissions. Don't really know why all of a sudden we're having problems, but just keep burning the clutches out of them, and I haven't been doing any reverse poppers or anything stupid like that, and we're still hurting these clutch plates for some reason. So was fastest in first round of racing, but decided to sit out to save the truck for freestyle, so that we had something for freestyle, because I knew the tranny was going away. And went out and made a few decent hits in freestyle, and then the truck just wouldn't move at all anymore. So we yanked the transmission out last night, and the plan has always been this, though, to take the truck here Sunday morning to Steve Vance's VZ Engines in Union, West Virginia. We're so close, and we're going straight to Lexington, Kentucky from here. We figured, why not have Steve go through the motor while we're here. He's going to pull the heads, check things, pull the oil pan. You know, we got about 9 hours on the motor after first quarter, so he's going to go through it, make sure everything's good. And I am going to drive home today, pick up my spare transmission from a Bruzies tomorrow, and drive back down here on Tuesday. And by that time, Steve will have already gone through the motor, and we'll throw the transmission back in the truck and head over to Lexington on Wednesday.
Coating, just those Teflon style coatings, they give you a lot of protection before you even get into your main bearing, you know?
It feels like slicker than the actual bearing surface does. Like when you run your finger across it,
this is like your tennis shoes screeching on the floor.
Oh, absolutely.
But then
yeah.
the coated bearing.
I mean, there's a lot of times where engines have had oiling issues where, you know, whatever, the oil pump's got some debris in it and it's kicked the belt off, you know, and the thing has went, whether it be, you know, definitely a while before the oil light comes on or whatever, or somebody even noticed it. I got a customer that actually made a pass one time when he launched the thing, shot the belt across, and man, that coating buys you a lot of time for the money that the coating costs. It's just,
over 8 hours online.
It's insane, and like you say, 8 hours on that thing, and you're not even through the coating, so you're not even touching the material, the outer layer of the bearing, the tri-metal bearing. You're not even on the outer surface of that bearing where you would have been if you put it in without being coated. So
we're here at VZ Engines while we were down here in West Virginia doing a show. Steve said, why don't you bring that thing by? It's got over 8 hours on it. We'll pull the heads off, check everything, pull the oil pan, check the bearings, make sure the bearings are wearing good, make sure they don't need replaced after 8 hours. And well, it passed with a clean bill of health. Again, thanks to our Clevite bearings and our Redline Oil. Can't say enough about those two companies and the products we're using, that Steve is using in all my engines. The difference of the bearings that we're using a coated bearing. This is a coated bearing, and this is an uncoated bearing. This coating on here just kind of preserves the life of the bearing a little bit more and gives you more run time before you actually get into the metal surface of the actual bearing. When he pulled mine out, again, after over 8 hours of run time, the coating was barely even scratched. It looked like you just took your fingernail and scratched it a little bit, which is absolutely nothing. So big hats off and a big thank you to both Clevite bearings and Redline Oil for keeping my engine running perfectly all season long. And the man himself, Steve Vance at VZ Engines, says so again.